get you on track. So welcome to Evolution Racing Academy. This is server 1. I'm just going to do a very quick check of my audio. So give me a second because I need to make sure that you can hear me and game sound isn't too high, because I'll have to turn that down if that's the case. Right, where are we? Profile, my channel. Just do a quick click in. Are we okay? Can you hear me? Are we okay? Can you hear me? That sounds fine to me. So yeah, welcome. I apologise that this is a little bit hushed, put together, and everything seems a little bit in the way. And normally you would have the dulcet tones of the South African god that is Stephen Koenig, and I'm afraid you've got the B team tonight, which is just myself. Stephen has some issues with basically South African's power grid turns the power off all the time. Has the stability of a 40-year-old single mum of 18 kids, it seems, and keeps shutting down. So unfortunately Mr. Koenig can't be with us this evening, and you got me. So yeah, we'll have qualifying soon, we'll cover the guys, and hopefully we can put on a bit of a show for anyone that's watching. Hater is in the audience. Welcome, Hater. And are you serving one of your many bands tonight? What's going off with you? Hello, hi mate. Quali is underway. Right, let's get that gone, and we'll get qualifying. So the drivers now on their outlaps. Predictions for quality. Yeah, race ban. Fucking hell, mate. Jesus Christ. I ain't got any of the fancy overlays that Stephen normally uses. Gonna blag this like you've never, like you just don't believe. This is just gonna get blagged to hell. Hopefully no one notices, and it's all gonna be okay. A couple of drivers staying in the pits. Lukeson, Knight, Young, Castro, Calgaro and Maroney still sat in the pit lane. Red Bull Ring isn't the worst track to qualify on. It's quite, it's quite wide, there's lots of space, it's just finding the gap. So we're looking at Peterson at the moment, because he's probably one of the drivers that we're sort of tipping to be towards the top spot. At the moment he's following a Lamborghini around, so we'll see if he can find himself space. You might see him back off in a moment just to sort of give himself that that gap. Yeah, where we got this. Yeah, he's giving himself a bit of space at the moment. So first driver out, I think it's Scub. It's going to be setting us a lap. Who else we got out there? 813. Malmi's actually the first driver that's going to set us a lap time together. So we'll get a bit of an idea. As far as track conditions, it looks nice. It looks like a nice day in Austria today. Unfortunately, it's quite cold, so a lot of the drivers have been complaining about getting optimum tyre temperature, and that's something that a lot of them have sort of struggled with. What we'll do, we'll cover qualifying. There's usually then a few minutes gap between quali and the race, where we'll cover the live standings as they are, and we'll be able to preview the race before it sort of starts. I know we've got at least a 5-minute gap between quali and the race, so we might as well utilise that time and see who we've got in the room and all that sort of stuff. Got a few new drivers that are joining us for this week. We've got Farmer from GSRT, I believe. He's one of our South African compadres, obviously not affected by the load shedding, because we've got a few of the Safis in. I don't think Venter's here tonight. I think he is also affected by the load shedding, but we've got Skitty in the house as well, also driving the Honda. I think that's it for the South Africans tonight. I think that's it. I don't know who else we've got. I think it's just Farmer and Skitty. Cool. So times starting to come in. Nilsson 28.1. I would definitely expect the 27s to be on the cards for qualifying tonight, so we haven't seen yet. As we say, Peterson sets the 27.6. You can see the times on your screen. I've set it to overall, so you will be able to see the drivers' times as they start to fall in. At the moment, half the field still yet to set their times. We do have all drivers out on track, so currently no drivers out on in pit lane. What you'll probably see is drivers will do 2, 3 or 4 lap stints. So drivers now in their, most of them in their second laps. So they'll get that's really just, the first lap is not going to be the quickest with these tyre temps. It's going to take 2 or 3 laps for the tyres to be at an optimum temperature to set that lap time. So even though Peterson is top of the timetables with a 27.6, very closely followed by Shooten in the Mustang, do expect to see those times fall. The track may get a little bit more rubbered as we start to get towards the end of the session, although I don't think it's going to be too much of a difference. The track condition we've got now is probably not going to improve too much over the next 10 minutes, although the drivers may tell me very differently towards the end of the session. We will go on board for a lap as well. In fact, let's jump on board with Peterson as he sets another lap. He's done 27.1 there, so coming through turn 1 then, heavy on the brakes, 100 metre boards. You just want to miss that yellow sausage curb on the way in. It's very closely tucked behind a Lamborghini here, so this may end up being an invalid lap for Peterson. Depends what you can do. As you come towards turn 3, you're looking for the 100 metre sign. You can brake just a bit before it, and Peterson, yeah, right behind the number 72, that has to abandon that lap basically. He was right behind Rozolski there. So we'll jump on board with another driver actually. Who shall we give a bit of a look to that's coming across? Lewis Knight. Let's go on board with Lewis then in the Nissan GTR. One of the cars that will be very well suited to this track. He's currently P9. So yeah, hard on the brakes. Little bit of a bump into T1, but a nice run out then in the Nissan as the V6 twin turbo absolutely screams up the hill. The elevation here is absolutely crazy in real life. He's going to jump on the brakes then, 100 metres as far over to the left as he possibly can be, down the gears, hooks up the apex nicely, back on the power. It's a little bit squirrely as he comes out. That will cost him a 10.42, but the GTR quickly able to overpower it with pure Japanese grunt, then down towards I can't remember what turn this is, God's sake, I'm not prepared for this at all, but nicely hooks it up on the apex there. Gets a really nice smooth run out. I'm going to get a track map loaded up actually in the background, just so I've got something to refer to as we go through. Down towards turn 7, then probably the most difficult corner on the track for me, as every car will take that slightly differently, and if you run too far over you get an invalid, and it can unsettle the car as well. Nice lap so far for Lewis. You want to be braking about 75 metres, get the car hooked in, don't run too wide. He has to back off the throttle there so he doesn't run too wide. One of the 2ID Ferraris getting a nice little look, and this lap for Lewis, is it going to improve him? It's not an improved lap for Lewis this time round, but it gives you an idea of what the drivers are facing. And some of the drivers now choosing to come in. We've got Skitty and Lucasen in the pits. They will be looking for a gap in the traffic, and they'll be going back out there. Talking to drivers that are back out there, Peterson is back out there, starting another lap. As it stands then, Peterson holds pole position, Shooten. Then we've got Hicks. Currently, P4, second row of the grid is Skirt, and Skirt is in our Platinum division, so he's not even in the top split technically here, but he's absolutely rapid here. Just 5 tenths off the pole position time, very closely followed by Spitzer in the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini really nice through sector 2, but will struggle through those high speed sections. Then you have Lindberghs, who we will come to in the championship battle in a moment. He will want better than P6. Kamil Hassan 7th overall at the moment, with Castro in 8th. Ryan Gel P9. Tama Malmi, another Platinum driver, so he's 3rd in Platinum, 10th overall as it stands. Nilsson P10. Top of our gold division at the moment, Dave Young in the Porsche. Dave Roth in another Porsche is locking out the front row of gold at the moment. With Farmer in the Ferrari P14, Glenn Smith P15, Flo Scub 16th at the moment in Platinum. Lewis Knight, who we were on board with just a moment ago, is in 17th. Nicola Renz 18th. Skitty will be hoping for a better showing of things. He's 19th at the moment with Sebastian Lucas at P20. Fengler 21. Rozolski 22nd. Correa 23rd. Calgaro in 24th. Flynn Van Holland 25th at the moment with Kossuth P26. Bella is 27th. Gamble in 28th, and another one of our American cousins, Damien Maroney, content creator for ERA, does a superb job with the graphics and the stuff. If you go on Reddit and look at ERA, basically everything you see is made by him, I think. But another man I want to give some creds to at the moment is Ernest Lindbergs. If you've been hovering around the server in the last few days, you've been noticing the content this guy's been knocking together. Absolutely brilliant footage of the opening 2 rounds that he's put together, like a highlights reel. I recommend you go and look if you've not looked already. You know, I like to think I'm a bit of a creative myself, and stunning work that he's put out there. So well done to Lindbergs. What are we looking like for times at the moment? 27.1 is still the benchmark to beat by Peterson. He set that a few laps ago, so expect to see an improvement on that from him, because he's got better sectors in him. So to give you an idea, the sector times at the moment, Peterson's got a purple sector 2, but has improvements to make in sectors 1 and 3, looking at the other drivers out there. So this battle isn't over yet. Oh, I scratched that. Peterson actually does have the purple sector 3, doesn't have the purple sector 1 though. That is held predictably by a Mustang, Mr. Shooten, in his police car livery, which for some reason isn't synced for me. It's just a black car on my screen, but I know I've got it because I synced liveries before I went live. So unless he's changed it, couldn't tell you. But yeah. So 4 minutes to go, qualifying. Most drivers out on track. We've got a few drivers that are in there for fuel and tyres at the moment. Spitzer and Young in the pits at the moment. And another car's just appeared in there. Musa's arrived, another one of our South African drivers. So it takes us up to 30 drivers overall with the arrival of Mahiv Musa, the Project Vapor driver, typically near the top end of the timetables as well. So if he can get that BMW out, get the fuel balance right, he's got enough time for 2 fast laps here. If he gets a move on, he will be one of the drivers in contention. Yeah, he's out, so he should get this out lap done. Might get 2 fast laps out of this one. It will be interesting to see what Musa can do, because the best BMW at the moment is Hicks, who's put himself up there in P3. So if he can deliver a lap time like Hicks has done, a 27.3. Hicks, of course, promoted to the Diamond Division following his exploits at Suzuka last time out. Myself and Stephen talked about his utter domination of the field. Hicks absolutely ran away with that one. Of course, we do have the success penalties and stuff to worry about. They will come into play tonight as well. So in that 5-minute break, you'll see the penalties start to get applied. I think Hicks will get one of those. We'll see who else has got. Lewis Knight, though, definitely worth a mention. Snuck under the radar, didn't see that happen, but he's put himself now 3rd row of the grid in gold division with a 27.7, 6/10 off Peterson's pole time. Absolutely flying in that Datsun. I don't know where Darius is. Darius is normally another driver in the Datsun, but he's not here tonight. So yeah, what a bloody lap there, Lewis. I'll keep an eye out on any drivers that are improving. At the moment, there's a few that are a couple of hundredths up, and nothing really setting the timing boards alight at the moment. Finley Gamble is a driver that is improving, but looks like he's lost all that time. Whatever he's just done as I cut to him has absolutely killed all his momentum. Lucasen 2 temps up on his best at the moment. Hicks has just lost all the time that he gained. Yeah, we're coming towards the tail end of qualifying now, so you know a lot of these drivers will be trying to eke out the very most of what their car has to offer. This for Lucasen could drop him a few places up, puts him into P13, then P2 in gold overall. Great lap there by the Aston Martin driver. We know Lucasen is a driver that has significant pace under his belt when he wants it. Yeah, he's absolutely flying at the moment. But it's Lewis Knight that is my star of qualifying so far with a 27.7. Just as we cut to him, gets knocked down a peg by, I think that's Spitzer, who's it might be Spitzer, it might be Skirt actually. Skirt, is it? God knows. I'll confuse myself. He gets knocked down again though by another driver improving. So Lewis Knight will still be happy with that time, no doubt. But yeah, he will be a little bit sad that he's down, and maybe down another position shortly, as Ernest Lindberg's, who's 6/10 down on Peterson's pole time at the moment in P9, is improving. He's 10th and a half up. Skirt Reynolds is also on a better time as well, but Lindberg's closer to the end of his lap. Shortly following that is Lucasen as well, who is yet again improving his time. An update on Musa, he hasn't improved yet. He is on, he's still last. Where's Lindberg's go? Goes to P4. That puts Lewis Knight down to P9. So all drivers that are on a lap now can finish it, but that's over. Lucasen is improving. Where does he go? He goes to P4. Lucasen, what a drive by Lucasen there. Fantastic lap. Skirt Reynolds is also improving. So is Ryan Gell. Glenn Smith is improving. So is Correa. Mahayev Musa also improving slightly, although the lack of practice by Musa I think is starting to show through, but the natural pace of the South African no doubt will steer him in good stead. Who else have we got? Lindbergh is on a better lap. He is able to finish like he did start it before the flag dropped. Correa gets his lap in. Where does Correa go? I missed him, he's P19. We're just keeping an eye on Musa because he's definitely going to be one to watch. At the minute, this is a 28 something, so it's gonna land him in the 20th somewhere if he finishes this lap. It's not going to be a fantastic lap by Musa. It will be said, and Serodio has now joined. Yeah, 28 for Musa. It's not setting any records. That's pretty much it for qualifying, ladies and gents. Serodio is going to be starting at the back. He didn't get in time again. Our South African drivers affected by load shedding in their home country, so unfortunate for them that they're cursed with that, really, because you know we like to see him about. So that's qualifying. Christoph Peterson pole with Dirk Schumann starting on the front row of the grid alongside him. Then we've got Hicks and Lucasen second row of the grid, Nilsson and Lindbergh on the third row. We'll run through the full order on the formation lap. But for now, ladies and gents, let's have a look at the points while we wait for the servers to switch over. So what I'll do is I'll just do this, and then we'll have a look at who's where. So these are live standings following Suzuka. So you can see top of diamond, Christoph Peterson, with everyone's favourite number, 69 points. Total, so you'll see two totals. So there's one that is calculated the drop round, so his lowest score is removed, and then the one in the brackets is the total. I'll only be looking at the total for now. Lindbergh's 45 points is quite a way behind, but one bad result from Peterson really, and it swings it right back around. A point behind Lindbergh's is Darius, who's not here tonight looking at the scoreboard. Skitty, P4. He's got 36 points to his name. Nilsson, 34 points to his name. Schumann, 30 points to his name. Castro, Hicks, Grosh, Gel, Neville, Hassan, Smith, Musa, Venter, Milano, James, Serodio and Bollander round out your lot. But you can see the results on screen there. We'll go over to have a look at our Platinum division. A little bit of a different look to Platinum. There's not many drivers. You see me there as well. You can pretty much see that I've driven 2 races and that's it for me. But topping out Platinum now is Spitzer, 66 points. He's 20 points ahead of Flo Scub in second. Malmi is also on 46 points. He's having a really good showing this season. We'll see what he can do tonight. I know he's been complaining about track conditions at RedBull Ring. Fengler, P4, 39 points, 38 points for Skirt, and then Simon Kossup, 34 points for him, and you can see the rest of the guys on screen. Looking at the gold division, topping out gold at the moment is the arguably platinum driver Nicholas Courier. Sebastian Lucasen arguably could be a contender for platinum as well. He's on 45 points. Lewis Knight will be hoping for a good result tonight, and he's P3. Flynn Van Holland on his day, one of the hardest drivers to race against. He's P4. Nico Lawrence, P5 for him. David Roth, P6 for David. Again, another driver that is improving race by race. He just needs to look to go his way. David Young, P7. Nicholas Power, butcher his name every time, P8. And you've got Calgaro, Liam Smith, Christoph Rozowski, Freddie Merley, Hanzo Voss, Stuart Parsons, Patrick Bellez, Damien Maroney, Wilfred Robson and Finlay Gamble, rounding out your gold division. So we've got the countdown then. We're seeing the penalties get applied now. Yeah, we're seeing the penalties get applied to the drivers. So these are the success penalties basically. So Christoph Peterson's got 5 seconds, Ben Hicks got 15 for winning Suzuka, Nilsson's got 10, Skirt's got 15, Spitzer's got 10, Malmi's got 5, Ross got 10 and Corrier's got 15. So what that means to anyone that's I guess new to ACC or is maybe watching this for the first time, those penalties are well earned basically. It's a badge of honour to get one of those. A 15-second penalty if you won the previous race, a 10-second penalty if you came second, and a 5-second penalty if you came third. That's your reward for winning, basically to try and make it so not the same driver can't win all the time. Yeah, and they have to serve those in the pit lane when they come in to do their one scheduled pit stop. Each driver has to stop once. They have to take on a minimum of 1 litre fuel. It's fixed time refueling, so no matter what you do, that's going to take you 25 seconds. And it's optional to take tyres, but I think most drivers will take tyres, if I'm being brutally honest with you. But we'll keep an eye on that as we go. It's a minute 15 until we start the formation lap then. Drivers will be doing the final preparations. They'll be talking to their engineers, getting the race plan locked down, making sure the pressures are right, the usual mumbo jumbo before the race gets underway. What else did we want to cover before this one? So yeah, we've got some drivers to keep an eye on. Andre Serodio, as we know, can do an Andre from time to time. P31, I don't think he'll finish there. Whether he stays the entire race is definitely one to be considered, because I think he's had a few disconnects this season. Who else is definitely one to watch for? Flo Scub has had really good pace in the Honda, 21st at the moment. Farmer, unknown quantity for me, but in the Ferrari there, anything can happen. Lewis Knight will just want to really bring that result home. Lukeson, definitely a strong showing there in overall P4, but ahead of anyone else in gold by like 6 positions on the grid, so he's absolutely flying up there at the moment. And a special mention to Skirt Reynolds, a guy that I've got an astounding amount of time for. Bit of a gobshite, but we love him. Yeah, Skirt, you know, P7 for him. He'll be absolutely chuffed with that. And yeah, another driver that has come on leaps and bounds in the recent few races as well. But let's run through your grid as the drivers start their formation lap then. So Christoph Peterson, can we get different cameras? Now we'll just do this. Christoph Peterson takes pole overall. Then we've got Chewton in the Mustang P2. Second row of the grid's going to be Hicks with Lucasen alongside him, blocked out by the Seat Cooper advertising hoarding unfortunately. Then it's Jens Nilsson P5, Lindbergh's in P6, solidifying a Lamborghini third row. Then it's Skirt Reynolds with Ryan Joe alongside him, Martin Spitzer in P9 with Glenn Smith in P10. Lewis Knight in the Datsun is P11 with Camille Hassan alongside him in the Aston Martin. Miguel Castro 13th with Skitty in 14th position. Talmo Malmi in 15th position with Dave Young in 16th. Jason Farmer from Griffin Sim Racing has a supporter in the chat already. P17 for Jason Farmer, but let's see where he finishes. David Loff P18, Corrier 19th, Flynn Van Holland rounds out your top 20. Flo Scub 21st with Nico Lawrence for company in 22nd. Simon Kossup from Los Patos Hermanos 23rd with Fengler from the Tractor team in 24th place. Joined by Christoph Rozolski, Federico Calgaro, Patrick Bellas 27th position with Finley Gamble in 28th. Damien Maroney P29, and then the South African duo of Mahayev Musa and Andrei Sorodio at the back of the grid. They're only really there because of qualifying issues for the pair of them, but don't expect them to stay there. So I think for the start, ladies and gents, let's go to the helicam, because that'll give us the best angles for the start here. As soon as we're through T1, basically we'll go back to the TV cameras, because no doubt we'll see some absolute cack unfold behind us. We do hope for a clean race, but you know, these things happen. So, predictions then. Who do we think is going to finish where? So, as we get ready to start this race then, I'm not going to steal anyone's catchphrase. We'll just say the race is unfolding when the race is unfolding. Christoph Peterson on the outside line. You could say that is suboptimal, as it's not a great run up to turn one, and he's got a Mustang alongside him and he's on the outside, but hey, who knows. We wait for the lights to go green then. Drivers being held just while everyone forms up behind them. And now we're here at Red Bull Ring, about to get underway, and we're green then. Christoph Peterson gets a great start. Lindbergh gets a fantastic start as well. A bit further behind. Peterson through turn one cleanly. Don't see any yellow flags yet behind. There are a couple of drivers that have gone wide. Flo Scubby's one of them, but leading the pack cleanly up through to turn one is Christoph Peterson. Schuten's been chased down by Hicks. Lindbergh's had a fantastic start, up 2 positions already. Is ahead of Jens Nilsson then. Any carnage in the background. Let's flick to the helicam and just have a quick look back. As it stands, we're good. Oh, well, no, we've got a car turn around. That's Calgaro. We can go back and have a quick look at what happened to Calgaro, just to see if he did get turned around of his own volition or not. Oh, looks like there was a little bit of bumper cars going off at the back there, but these things do happen. We'll not speculate any further. David to win it. David Schuten. As we've got further yellow flags in the background. Rozolski involved in this one. Rozolski and Lawrence. We'll go back a little bit later. We'll wait for the first few laps and then we can go back and have a look at some of these contacts if we absolutely have to. At the moment though, it's Christoph Peterson ahead by a canter, 1.3 seconds ahead of David Schuten. David though, no success penalties to take today. Christoph will have 5 seconds to take, so he is looking to scarper up the road and build a lead before he has to pit and serve that 5-second time penalty. Skurt Reynolds has lost a couple of positions though from the start, as we see Spitzer and Camille Hassan go side by side. Spitzer just hasn't got the legs, I'm afraid, on Camille, as he's going to be able to defend that. Can the Lamborghini do anything under brakes? He does have a look. We've got another yellow flag, car number 7. I can't see who that is immediately on my thing. It's Rodeo, involved in strife early doors, and he's now down at the back chasing Rozolski down, but he's still going, and that's what we like to see. Meanwhile, Maroney trying to put pay to Nico Lawrence, doesn't manage to get that move done. Farmer, we know Farmer's got a supporter in chat, and as we see another yellow flag come out for car 426, that's Nilsson having a bit of a fall from grace. Farmer is up to P14 already, making some moves through the field. Car 426, what happened to you? What can we see now? We can't see on the replay what happened to him because he's already turned around, but we might be able to go and have a bit of a look at it a little bit later on and see what's happened to him. But that's going to help a few drivers out. We will be out of this replay in just a moment. Yeah, there we go. Skurt Reynolds, great start for him then. He did lose a few positions. He's got them back. He's now in P5 leading a bit of a train. There's him, Lukeson, Gel, Hassan and Spitzer, as we see Hassan there discovering new parts of Austria he hasn't seen before. Lots of close battles on track though, ladies and gents. There's almost too much to cover at the moment. There's so many cars that are separated by tenths. As we see Simon Kossut there defending successfully. No, that was Castro, my apologies, they've got the same livery. Yeah, Castro managing to survive an onslaught from Finley Gamble. Flo Scubb side by side with Dave Young. Doesn't get that move made. Well, a lot of these overtakes are happening up at turn 3, so the second they approach that turn, as we see Farmer launch on down the inside of Flynn Van Hollen's. Or is this Van Hollen trying to fight back? It's Van Hollen actually fighting back because this is for 14th place. And Van Hollen successfully defends it, but Farmer's actually got to play a bit of attack and defence here because he's got Fengler breathing down his backside. Fengler in the Lamborghini trying to take advantage of Farmer's being a bit slower there because he was attack on the Porsche, and that made him slow. Then Fengler was on the attack, but Farmer successfully defended that. Farmer's someone I've driven against a couple of times. He's a very wily old fox, is Jason Farmer, so don't expect to get one over on him too easily. But this battling is enabling the cars ahead, as we see Glenn Smith in the pit lane already. Yeah, this battling is enabling drivers such as Courier to just sneak up the road a little bit. Who have we got in terms of winners and stuff like that already? Let's have a little bit of a look. So your biggest winners, we're looking at one of them right now, Courier and Van Holland. They're up 7 places on where they qualified, so they're doing a really good job at the moment. The biggest winner, silently siving his way through the pack, is Mahayev Musa. He's up 12 places from where he started. So is Belez, he's up 8 places. One of the biggest losers is Castro. I'm going to guess if we look back at the contact logs a little bit later in the race, we'll see him turn around at some point. Simon Kossut was having a look at Farmer. No look at the inn though. I wonder if that Ferrari's got an issue because he's dropped back 1.4 seconds now. Fengler's also dropped back a couple of places. Oh, as you see one, that's Musa there. I think, is it Musa? Might be Belez. Gets it a bit squirrely. It's Belez actually, as Musa makes his way past another driver. Or does he? Belez is fighting this one. Bonnet on that BMW does look a bit flappy. So I'm going to guess he's had a little bit of a front nudge somewhere along the line. Musa able to successfully make his way ahead. We've got Farmer in the pits, so yeah, there's an issue somewhere. That's a very early pit stop. This doesn't seem strategic for Farmer. I will be very surprised if this is a strategic stop for the Griffin Sim Racing driver. Any inside knowledge would be appreciated, but yeah, I'm gonna guess there's an issue somewhere for the South African. So he's in the box. Meanwhile, top of the timetables then is Peterson. 2 seconds is the gap then between him and Schutten, and then 1.3 seconds further back is Hicks. Second further back is Lindbergh's, but then they've got a 3-second gap to, oh my god, as we see Kamil Hassan launching one down the inside of Lukeson. That was a send and a half then by Kamil Hassan. Let's go and have a look at that back. He was right up the inside of him there, but he was alongside, and it was, yeah, driver's left space. That was a beautiful move then by Hassan. Who is that behind? Spitzer, I think, that's trying to take advantage of that. But yeah, Kamil Hassan making moves early on in the race. But yeah, this is this train that's starting to form a little bit. One driver that's looking to get himself another carriage forward is Tamo Malmi. He's tucked up behind Lewis Knight at the moment. He'll be so frustrated though, because that Datsun in a straight line, for all intents and purposes, will just piss off. And Tamo will have to get this overtake done in sector 2. Won't have any luck of getting that done at the end of a straight unless Lewis makes a mistake, and it looks like that's what he's just done. Commentator's curse then, as Lewis gets overtaken by Malmi and Correa, and Correa is someone that he cares about, because Correa's a battle for class position. He won't actually care about Malmi too much, but the McLaren, he will want to get back ahead of him ASAP. Rocky, where's Farmer? Farmer's back out, served his mandatory stop, so whatever he's done in his pit stop, he can now run till the end of the race. We'll keep an eye on him. At the moment, he's last. Yeah, he might not finish there, but well, he won't finish there. It's Farmer, but I would hazard a guess that that isn't strategic. So battles on track. There's still a lot, ladies and gents. There's still a lot to look at. We've got Ryan Gell trying to put the Porsche madness to the Mustang, but similar to other stories that we're seeing, these overtakes are hard to come by for some of these cars that aren't specifically straight line monsters. The Mustang and the Nissan are superb in a straight line, and getting past them will be pretty difficult. Go on board with Ryan. You'll notice he'll get off the corner nicely, but that Mustang will just vanish in a straight line. So the gap is now 0.2 of a second. There's a bit of a flash there from Ryan Gell. That's the old giving the finger through the window, basically. That's the modern equivalent. You just flash your lights at him. But Ryan will be having some troubles getting past Skirt there. Skirt's been to my defensive masterclass, and he's a tricky old character to get by, his Skirt, so don't expect an easy overtake. He'll pretty much have to force a mistake out of him. A bit of a free car pile-up. We've got Fengler, Roth and Musa. Musa's making his way through the field then. He hasn't got anyone in his class to overtake for another 10 positions, so the next 10 overtakes from Musa technically don't even count. And although we'll be eager to get the hose pipe out, they won't actually matter for him. So, he's just got to hope the drivers ahead sort of see that and don't put up too much of a fight, because it's not really going to matter for any of these drivers. But will Roth give him any problems? Can't imagine David will play anything stupid here. He's certainly not going to defend too hard. He'll not want to lose time to the drivers ahead. He's still got his own race to run, but he also won't hold up Mahayev for any particular reason other than to advantage himself, and there's no real reason to do that at the moment. So we'll see what comes of that. A bit further back, Michael Castro. Don't know why I called him Miguel. He's suddenly Mexican. He's another place further up ahead of Dave Young. He will now get on with the task of chasing down Bellas, but again, he's a diamond driver that's a few places down the order. So don't expect too much friction from the cars ahead. Musa then is past Roth, and he can now start to reel in Fengler up ahead. Ryan Gell still trying to chase down Skirt Reynolds in the Mustang. Skirt does take a bit of an unordinary line then. Does allow Ryan to catch up, but there's no room at the end when you get to Skirt. It's not going to be an easy boy to get past. The thing is, although he is a platinum driver, he's still got to worry about Spitzer. Spitzer isn't a vast yawning chasm far behind him. He's at the back of this train, basically. You can just see him coming out now. He's 3 or 4 cars back. So as far as Skirt's concerned, these are natural barriers, these cars, and the more he can keep people behind him now, the better it's going to be for him. He does have a 15-second penalty to serve, but Spitzer also has a 10 and Malmi has a 5. So this will come in clutch when it comes to pit stops. Kamil Hassan trying to be the next contestant to have a go at the Mustang and get past Ryan. Ryan makes him go the long way around, keeps the inside line for the next corner. Will Kamil just try the dip back, or will he try the switch back? We don't know. He's going to try and brake late and then switch back, I think. No, the Porsche is wise to it, runs him out wide. Great driving then by Joe. And yeah, this is allowing Reynolds to scarper a little bit. Meanwhile, near the front, Hicks is now within a second of shooting, but it's going to be hard for him to make too much of an impression, and he has a 15-second penalty to worry about, so I think Hicks will probably be quite happy with where he is. Some of these drivers taking absolute liberties then with track limits. So to explain track limits in ACC, you get 4. Basically, if you run off track 4 times and the game deems it that you've gained a time advantage by doing so, you'll get a warning. 4 of those warnings you do a drive-through. You are allowed to run off track as long as you don't gain an advantage as far as time's concerned. So, you know, some of these drivers that are absolutely, you know, visiting different parts of Austria every lap, they might not be getting pinged for it. Camille is coming. Yeah, he is. Camille's on a mission today. He's absolutely flying. He's closing in. As far as I can tell. What else have we got? We've got Lewis Knight now, but on the back of Courier. You'll remember Lewis made that mistake a few laps ago. And he wants to get back on terms. He's currently third in gold, but he won't be happy with that. Of course, he doesn't have a success penalty, so whatever happens, Courier's got 15 seconds extra, so maybe he's thinking about that. As we hit the 15-minute mark. An update on Farmer. I know he's got some supporters in the chat. He's the only driver so far that's done his pit stop. So, you know, he's 30th at the moment, but every single other driver has got to stop. Take that how you will. So we won't finish P30. We will check in on him once the other drivers have started to do some pit stops. Don't you worry about that. Meanwhile, Nico Lorenz is trying to get the 2ID Ferrari under his belt as well. The Track Tool team Lamborghini having a tough time getting past the Ferrari. And at the moment he's having to settle for 23rd. Sorry, 24th. What else have we got going on? We've still got this Skirt Reynolds train. This is Skirt is chewing along like the Pan American Highway, and unfortunately he's now collecting Aston Martins at the back of this train as Ryan's having to think attack and defence. Ben Hicks a little bit further up, wheeling, shooting in lap by lap. Most of this leading quartet in the mid-28s. Christoph last time out at 27.8, so Christoph really is setting the pace. His fastest lap of the race so far is Christoph at 27.5. A lot of these drivers, pretty much everyone in the top 6 has done a 27. Apart from Skirt's fastest lap is a 28.2, so not a million miles away, but he has had a Porsche right up his arse the entire time, so the fact that he's not been setting record times kind of isn't a surprise. Yeah, will we see any drive-throughs though later on in this race is a question I need to be asking, because I am willing to bet a lot of these drivers are on at least one track warning now. You know, I think as we get tyre wear start to creep in, complacency, you know, muscle memory starts to creep in as well. David Roth falling down the order. What's happened to David? Or is that just a timing screen glitch? It might just be a timing screen glitch. But his last lap of 30.0, so you know it's a good second and a half off what he should be doing in the Porsche. So that's puts Miguel. I'm going to call you Miguel now because you know, for fun. Mercedes not able to get on terms with that Porsche this lap round. An update on the hosepipe. He's right up to the back of Fengler now. Half a second between him and the Lamborghini. I do think Fengler will play it smart. He's a switched on boy. He won't hold up Musa too much, I shouldn't imagine. Fengler will probably hope that letting Musa through, although it will unleash scub. That's something he's got to consider himself with. might go ahead and slow down Kossuth, which will be a bit of a bonus for him. Speaking of Scub, he is the latest victim of the hose pipe as Musa gets his way past. Again, Scub didn't fight it. There's little point really. He might as well just let him go. As Miguel Castro will be having another go here at David Roth. Does he slink one up the inside turn one? Very good driving by both drivers. But I feel that David there, as Skirt Reynolds is bringing out a yellow flag. What's happened to Skirt? Is the contact? Is the contact? Oh, there is contact. There is contact. And that's why we saw Skirt abandoned at the side of the road like, who is it that ended up there? Charles Leclerc, was it? In F1 a few years ago? That's absolutely gutting for Skirt. His timing screen shows his 5th, he's not his 12th now. 3rd in Platinum. Absolutely gutting for Skirt Reynolds. And he's also got that 15-second penalty to worry about as well. So, yeah, there was contact that led to that. So that may well go to the stewards for review. Not live stewarding in this series, unfortunately. It's all done post-race. We don't have the staffing to do it live. That being said, would it benefit? Who knows? Peterson update, still winning, 4.2 seconds to the good. Courier's now in strong. Courier's down. God knows. Yeah, the gap to shoot and... I see another car off. 4.4 seconds, sorry, it's the gap. Car 90. Didn't see who that was. Didn't see them. Although Moose's... No, Moose is still there. It might have been a car coming in the pits. It might have been, because we see Rozolski in the pits now. Skitty has also pitted. And to give you an insight as to where Farmer is, Farmer's 30 seconds ahead of him. At least. So, yeah, Farmer, although he's probably going to be going a lap down to Peterson soon. Yeah, he's nearly made the gap now. So, yeah, for those sort of in the know, Peterson's got a 5-second penalty. He's nearly made that up over shooting. The gap is 4.3 seconds. So a really good pit stop from Chris, and he's negated his penalty basically. He won't want to lose any time behind Farmer though. Farmer's letting him go. Yeah, Farmer just peels over and lets him go. Good racecraft then, Jason. Yeah, so it's a lot to unfold in this one. I'm really good for Skirt, you know, I really am. Scud keeping in order with Musa. Musa's coming into the pit lane. So the hosepipe is going to be in the pits. This might be tactically quite a good decision though for Musa. He gets himself, he runs 2 wheels on the grass, basically gets himself out of the traffic, and that will enable him to run in clean air, and we can really unlock his pace then. Lewis Knight, is he dropping a place to Skirt? Looks like he is. Skirt's gonna try and send one on Tarmo, is he? Tarmo won't want to let him go. But Reynolds would be gutted though. He was running really high up, doing a really good job. I'm absolutely gutted for the guy, to be fair. And now he looks like he's getting overtaken by Datsun, although Lewis does look, to be fair, I could read the body language of that car right there. And Lewis basically went, I want no part of this. I will just let you go. I want absolutely no part of your shenanigans. Go right ahead. Miguel versus Simon. On the same team but not in the same split, so will Kossuth let him go? He might do. He might do. Bad lap last lap for Simon. 30.5. Made a mistake somewhere then. As are they coming up to a lap car? No, that's Fengler. And Fengler gets absolutely dove by Simon. As you would say, get dove, idiot. Fengler's going to try and have a pop back though. sweeps to the outside. Is he going to go for the cutback? Because Simon's now on the suboptimal line. But Castro's got a really good run out of T1. Might have been a bit of contact on the exit though. That's going to slow Castro down. And we'll see if Castro does enable a move up into what is technically turn 3. Oh no, Fengler goes to defend it. Oh no, these get a bit bad. Oh, they all make it through. So, oh my god, that could have ended badly. But that's all helped out Flo Scubbu now, who's now absolutely sending one on Castro. Flo Scubbu, platinum driver. So he yeets it down the inside. Castro has to go to the sands, and David Roth says thank you very much, I'll take that position, and up he goes to P16. Castro then from attack to defence, as he's now got Bellez for company. So this little battle definitely not over yet. Fengler really good defending there, very much able to keep himself in the fight though, as Simon is starting to scarper away a little bit ahead of him. News from the Peterson camp, he's made 5 seconds now over shooting. So that gap is now 5 seconds. It is on my timing screen anyway, hasn't updated on yours yet. 5.1 is the gap. Limburgs has reeled in Ben Hicks, so this from second to fourth is separated by 2 seconds, so this is still a really close little fight that's going on. Limburgs will be potentially eyeing a podium here, at the very least I should imagine. He's got no success penalty, and the car right ahead of him has got 15 seconds to serve. Christoph's got 5, so once Christoph serves that penalty, he might well come out right near Limburgs and shooting. So this ain't over yet. Kamil Hassan has been battling away with Lucasen for a little bit now. Half a second in it between the 2 Aston Martin drivers. Not in the same split though, so Kamil is P6 on the road, but it's P5 overall because Lucasen is leading gold at the moment. Speaking of gold, a little bit further back you got Courier. He's got 15 seconds to serve, so he will drop down the order, and Lewis Knight, despite dropping a few places, will still be quite happy with that, because the car ahead of him for position has got a vast yawning chasm of time to spend in the pit lane when he does come in. We will start to see these stops happen, by the way, really quickly as Sorodio gets his stop done. So Farmer, Sorodio, Musa, Rozolski and Skitty have all served their penalties, the leading one of which is Jason Farmer. So yeah, well, every time people pit stop now, they're gonna shuffle the order up. So we'll start to see this this get mixed up a little bit. Kamil Hassan side by side with Lucasen. If you're Lucasen, are you fighting this too much? Do you really care? I'm not sure. Kamil tries to sweep around the outside, keeps his nose in right, but gets a bit on, gets his tyres on the sand there, and that's suboptimal, as some of the gamers would say. I think if you're Hassan, you've really got to think at this point, is it worth me just diving in the pits to get out of this battle? That's exactly what my thought process is. Just get in the pits. I don't need this fight. Another driver that might be thinking something similar is Limburgs. He's absolutely welted right up to the back of Hicks now. Hicks a 28.8 last time out, 28.2 for Limburgs, 28.6 that time out, 28.5 for Limburgs. So the lap before the one we've just witnessed, Hicks must have made a mistake somewhere, because Limburgs is right on him like a rat up a drain pipe. And another driver, yeah, Hassan, really close. This is bringing Spitzer into the fight as well. So Spitzer with 28.7 that time. These guys, these 2 Aston Martins that time out were in the 29s, the high 29s as well. So this is bringing the few cars behind them into play as well, which will again suboptimal. Lucasen, you don't need to be defending this one, but if you want to, it's your prerogative. Hassan, I've got to say, as a strategist, I would be thinking about a pit stop, mate. Just pit opposite to whatever Lucasen does next time out. That's what I'd be doing. 2 of drivers in the pit stop. We've got Malmy and Fengler in the box. So those guys will be getting some fresh rubber. else have we got going on? We've still got Lindbergh's close up to the back of Ben Hicks, but you know, I don't really want to say too much until all these pit stops come out to play, because these time penalties are really going to mix things up. The order you've got on your screen now, ladies and gents, he's not going to be anywhere near the order that we see in about 10 minutes once these pit stops start to cycle through. It makes sense for a lot of these drivers to do these stops at the halfway mark, looking at the tyre degradation that we were looking at in the practice server, as Spitzer does indeed choose to make a dive for the pit lane. Who else have we got? We've actually only got one other car in the pit lane, which is 178, which is Shooten. So Shooten comes in to get his stop done. He was running second, so that unleashes Peterson. Hammer time is go. Gap to Hicks is 7 seconds. Hicks has got 15 seconds extra to serve in his pit stop. We can have a look at stop time in the pits as well. We will do that if necessary. But at the moment it's just a case of seeing whether Peterson can have a clean pit stop and overcome that gap. Now it's if you're Lindbergh's, you're really pushing on now. You want to try and come out on terms with Christoph when you pit. So if you're Lindbergh's, are you pitting this lap? You might want to think about it. Meanwhile, in the middle of a Los Patos Hermanos sandwich is Flo Scub. He's third in Platinum right now. Simon Cossott ahead of him is second in Platinum. These are, of course, not taking into account drivers that have already pitted, including Malmi, who is 23rd now. But of course, a lot of other drivers haven't pitted, so yeah, we're yet to see a lot of this uncover. These two Mercedes have been involved in some right battles this race. Oh, what a great picture that is. These two Los Patos Hermanos Mercedes as Castro dives into the pit lane. Clean entry there. And Lewis Knight also in the pits, joined by Flynn Van Holland and yeah, Castro, as we just saw. So yeah, some of these pit stops now will start to cycle through. How can you tell? So on the left hand side of your screen you will see the little orange number 1s and the green boxes. The green box means that they've served the pit stop. The orange number 1 means that they've got to serve it yet. So that's how you can tell. Clean air for Farmer was a good strap move. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether it was strategic because he was pretty slow the lap before he boxed, so whether he had a bit of damage, but look, the lap times he's been in the mid 28s pretty consistently, so that's the pace of the leaders basically. So Jason Farmer really is putting himself a case together for a good result here. He's now up to 20th, 19th as I say that. As he comes out, where does he come out? Who's near him? We'll get a sight in a minute. He's ahead of Lewis Knight. And Lewis was running up in like 10th or 11th. So yeah, so far this is looking to put Farmer sort of a net sort of 10th place, would you say? Once the pit stops have all rolled through. We'll see. 727 bringing out a yellow flag. Who is that? And 13, that's Skitty. What's happened? He's pulled over on the... Oh, that was David Roth. And Skitty... And I want to say that was Rizolski that was tangled up in that as well. It was really hard to say what might have happened there. Let me actually just pop over here because we can get a good insight. So this is David Roth. Gets tagged by Skitty by the looks of it. Really precarious position by David Roth. What else did we have earlier on in the race? We had a 4-car contact really early in the race. So I'll go back and have a look at some of these. Yeah, just a little bit of a concertina. Oh my god, that was a bit of a dink. That was really really close to the start of the race. Yeah, 727 been involved in a few dings, unfortunately, so David Roth a little bit in the wars. Kamil Hassan does box eventually, so he's in. Hicks is still circulating out there. We've got, I think, just 9 cars yet to make their pit stops. And of those 9, 4 of them have success penalties. So that your net leader is still Peterson. Because Shooting came out a second behind him. And Lindbergh's 1.3 seconds behind that. So even after all is said and done at the moment, Peterson will be the leader of the race, because the only one realistically that can challenge him is Hicks, and he's got 15 seconds extras to spend when he's in the box. So yeah, they have closed right up. They really are there. We don't, in fact we do know who's taking tyres, because I can tell you how long they spent in the pit lane, and they all spent over a minute, which sort of leads me to believe that they all took tyres as well. So a minute and 7 seconds for Peterson, minute and 2 for Shooten, minute and 1 for Lindbergh's, minute and 1 for Hassan, and a minute and 6 for Lukeson. So that is line to line in the pit stops. So yeah, this battle has really closed up then. Shooten, this is the view from 5 seconds back before the pit stops to 0.2 of a second. If he can really put Peterson under some pressure, that Mustang is an absolute beast of a car as Peterson gets a little bit of a slide on. One question you might have to ask, did Peterson try and negate that 5-second penalty by not taking tyres at the pit stop? I wouldn't have imagined he'd have done that. I think he would have probably played it safe and taken tyres, but you never know. And we might be speaking to him after the race, so we can always ask that question. As 5 drivers yet to take a pit stop, 4 of them are in. That's going to leave Flo Scubb as the last driver out there circulating. And so Flo Scubb gets to lead a lap of the race, and Peterson now goes through. Yeah, Lindbergh's will be quite happy with that. You know, it's a podium. It's good points at what is probably one of the weaker tracks for the Lamborghini. We head off to Imola next, I believe, and that's one of the stronger tracks. So you know, there's points to be made yet for Ernest Lindbergh's. See where some of the other guys are falling out. Particularly interested to see where this guy is ending out. He's P10 on my screen. It'll update in a moment for you guys. But yeah, he's managed to get past Lewis, or defend from Lewis, might I say. And Farmer, I know a few of you guys in the chat are watching for Farmer's progress. He's 10th, 3 seconds behind Spitzer. In terms of lap times, pretty similar between the two. So yeah, we'll see what happens to him as the race unfolds. And I hear a small child coming downstairs, so I might have to just mute myself in a moment. Hello, darling. Of course you can. As long as you promise me to brush your teeth once you've had it. Thank you. Right, so Flo Scubb in the pits. I apologise. The only one who didn't box so far is Maroney, but it looks like he's doing that now. He definitely avoids contact with Camille. So yeah, that's going to be all drivers having boxed, and we now have 23 minutes of green flag running. And we can run you through the standings as they are. So Christoph Peterson leads the race at the moment, 4 tenths ahead of Shooten in second. Then it's Lindbergh's in third. Kamil Hassan, great race from him, so that must be said, an absolute phenomenal drive from Kamil. With Ben Hicks having served his 15 seconds, now in 5th place. Leader of your gold division, Sebastian Lukeson. He's P6 overall, with the leader of your platinum division, Martin Spitzer, in P7. Jason Farmer, now the pit stops have all circled through. He is P8, but he's getting relentlessly assaulted by the Nissan of Lewis Knight. So yeah, whether Farmer puts up too much of a fight, we don't know. In fact, let's have a look. Yeah, he's defending. But can Lewis get that move made? Under braking, Farmer's Ferrari, sublime grip, and Lewis not able to overtake the Ferrari on this occasion, although he's going to try and have a go through the infield, which against a Ferrari probably isn't advised, but he's going to try and do it anyway, and that's going to put him under assault from Castro. And Lewis Knight, who must be said has just been cooked there by Castro, who's just gone, cheers mate, I'll have that. We'll see if Castro now can get past Farmer. This battle that you're seeing on screen now is for class position, so this one does matter. Lewis, although he's lost that position, you know, still P2 in class, so he'll be not too perturbed at that. But he will have to now potentially defend from Flynn Van Holland, who is P11. Let's carry on going through the grid. We've got Simon Cossop a few seconds back, he's P12, with Belez close for company in P13. Then it's Tamo Malmi, 14th, Fengler P15th, Flo Scub is 16th, then with Correa having served his 15-second penalty in P17. Skirt Reynolds, again, I'm gutted for you mate, I really am, but I'm really glad to see you still out there circulating and getting some points. P18. Hayef Musa in P19, David Young P20, Federico Calgaro in P21, Nilsson 22nd place, a bit of a fall from grace for Nilsson. I think he's had some strife looking at his contact board. Srodio in 23rd, Lawrence 24th, Wozolski 25th, he's got David Roth for company in 26th place, Moroni 27th, and then Skitty in 28th. We have lost a couple of drivers along the way. Battle for the lead though is hotting up, as Shooten in the Mustang is really now having a pop at Christoph Peterson. Peterson has to go to the inside to defend it. Will Shooten go for the cutback? Looks like that's what he's doing, but there's no room at the end, and there is slight contact then as the two come together at the apex. Peterson just able to defend the position. Both drivers are coming up to lap Skitty, so they're coming to the back of the pack. So Skitty will have to get out of the way. He's Shooten just got his braking a little bit wrong there, so that's going to give Peterson a little bit of breathing room. And yeah, that's put pay to that a little bit. As we see an overtake, do we? That's Skirt Reynolds. Gets himself past Correa. Again, Correa might not have put too much of a fight against that. And a little bit further up, I've got a little bit of a battle emerging. Especially then between Fengler and Malmi. This is for class position, and ahead of them is Bellas in the BMW. He's in gold, the number 101. Just following Cossett around. A little bit further up, got Lewis Knight still putting some pressure on Farmer. We'll be hoping again, Lewis, if we just go on board with Flynn. Oh, Flynn, as we catch on board, has gone for an absolute send then on Lewis. Lewis just seems to be getting absolutely sent through the yeah, he just, this corner he just gets it wrong every single time, and yet again we see Van Hollen go up the inside. So unfortunate for Lewis Knight there that he suffered that, but yeah, that's going to drop him a class position, so that one for Lewis matters. Expect to see him fight back on this one. And he's going to go for the move up the inside. Flint basically allows that to happen, and the two are now side by side going up towards turn 3. We know how strong the Datsun is in a straight line. This really isn't an argument that the Porsche can win. So he's got to hope to get a better braking performance and switch back. Lewis basically makes him go around the outside, and no room at the end. Chuds09, thanks for the follow on Twitch, mate, appreciate that. That was the noise you heard a few moments ago. Lewis then holding the inside, Flynn widening his corner entry, and Lewis holds him off. A bit of an update from the top. There isn't much to report. So Christoph, so far after that contact we saw a couple of laps ago, Christoph is basically holding station in P1. Tarmo is closing in on Bellas. This again isn't for class position, so Bellas might just let this happen. Tarmo's eager to get up to Simon, because Tarmo is basically P3 in Platinum right now and he can see P2, so he'll be eager to get that move made. Meanwhile, Fengler's going to have a very similar thought process, running P15 at the moment and just outside of the podium places for Platinum. Yeah, he'll be ready for a slip up if Malmi can make that happen, and yeah, Bellas doesn't put up too much of a fight there, and through goes Malmi. Skirt Reynolds now to the back of this pack after getting past Courier. Skirt Reynolds and Scub both ran a 28.1, pretty much identical lap times then, as we do see Scub go up the inside. All sorts of carnage has uncovered here as Skirt has to take to the escape road. Where does this all fall out? At the moment it's Skirt around the outside who's probably, you would argue, he's got the advantage, but Flo Scub on the inside. Skirt sees him and doesn't put up too much of an argument. But that's a bit of a loss there for Bellas, who drops a couple of positions, and Fengler comes out of that alive, basically. So it's pretty much as you were. Fengler, Scub and Reynolds battling it out for this isn't really an overall position, it's overall 14th. A little bit of contact there at the apex, is it? It's hard to tell. Jump on board with Scub as Fengler does get it a little bit squirrely. Gives him room. Good driving by Fengler. He did make the mistake. He tries to close the door on Reynolds. Reynolds was steaming in at 80 knots. And you would argue that Reynolds now on the straightaway has the speed advantage on Fengler. Fengler, I would expect, will defend this. Will Skirt go for the late dive? I think he's gonna. And he'll be shouting, "Get dove, idiot!" in the middle of there, but Fengler's a really good run through that, and Bellas gets it. I don't know if he gets it wrong or he got turned around. Gets out of the way. Good driving by Bellas to basically get out of the way of the other cars, but yeah, unfortunate for Bellas. Not here to speculate on what may or may not have happened there. It's for the viewer to decide. I'm watching this just to give you an update though. Peterson and Shooten. Shooten's actually dropped back as Peterson's just set a fastest lap of the race. Well, he's gone close to his fastest lap of the race, a 27.5. Well, Shooten was a 28.4 last time out, so he's dropping back. And if anything, he's been caught by Lindbergh's. So I'll keep you posted. At the minute, we are watching some of the battles that matter, I guess. As we see what happens. Was there an incident there? Because I've just seen a position change. No. As you were. It's just the software being a little bit buggy by the looks of things. We'll be back to live action in 4, 3, 2, 1 now. Skirt Reynolds again having another go at Fengler. Fengler a little bit wiser to it this time. Is he going to defend the apex the same? Reynolds this time chooses to go around the outside. Is he going to get the cutback? Fengler just always gets a really good run out of turn 3, and that just nullifies Skirt's attack every single time. This is enabling Scub to scarper off up the road though. Scub, who will be eager to chase down Malmi for that final platinum podium position. I'm talking of podium positions, Lewis Knight, after getting back past Flynn, is now back on the tail of Farmer. So Farmer hasn't really got a fight in his hands at the moment ahead of him, because he's 6 and a bit seconds behind Castro. But yeah, he probably will want to keep his position anyway. Let's have a look what else we got going on. There's a few gaps checking at the top. See, top 3 at the minute is Peterson by 2 seconds to Schuren, and then another second and a bit to Lindbergh's. Camille Hassan, who is the silent assassin at the moment, running in 4th place. He's about 14 seconds back from the top 3, but running some really impressive pace. And you know, if he finishes this way, that'll be a really good result for Camille. And another great result for Lucasen, who is a gold-rated driver, you must say. It's a split 3 basically, and he's P6 overall, and he's going to be winning his class at this rate. And he is, what is he? He's about 11 seconds ahead of Lewis, who is trying his hardest to get past Farmer. He's not able to get that done, because Farmer just knows where to put his car pretty much every single time. So I think this is Jason's first race with ERA. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I do apologise if I'm wrong. I don't remember him at Suzuka. I think this is his first race. But yeah, it's good to see him here anyway. It's good to see some more of the South African guys, because they're generally good fun to have around. I should know him in a South African race team. It's just non-stop carnage, basically. Lewis then. Looks to the inside. I'd conserve your energy, Lewis. If I was you, mate, I would really just focus on getting a good run out of turn 3, and having a look down into turn 4, because that's, if you're going to get this guy, that's probably there. Just the Nissan's just bogging down out of the exit, and the Ferrari just able to scarper off just enough. Lewis, does he commit to the inside? Just backs out of it. Lewis not really wanting to commit. A few places further back, we've got Flo Scub, who's now on the back. He did. Oh, I apologise, Dan. I apologise. Yeah. No. Was it last week? Yeah, it would have been last week. God knows. God knows. He might have raced last week in the Enduro. We had season break last week. Anyway. Either way, it's good to see new drivers on track. Always a pleasure. Flo Scub round the outside then. As Eminem once sang, 2 trailer park girls go round the outside. Well, this time it's Flo Scub from Los Patos Hermanos, who tries to go round the outside 2 corners on Timo Malmi. Good racing by the pair of them. Timo gives him space, and Flo Scub gets his way through then. So that's a podium position for the Los Patos Hermanos driver. And the Cyber Racing driver, Timo Malmi, has to concede that one, and now has to probably worry about Skurt Reynolds, who's on a bit of a charge behind him, trying to reclaim some of those. Yeah, it was the Enduro last week. I think he did drive that. But yeah, we have a season break every season basically. Meanwhile, I think I missed it. I'm going to stay on board the live action, but I think we might have just seen the overtake from Lewis on Farmer, and I hasten to say I feel like that's been coming. I just feel Lewis has been a little bit conservative on his attacks on Farmer, and if anything, he's probably showed him a little bit too much respect. Again, maybe not wanting to get involved in a battle that doesn't really matter. Flynn, no, up the inside, no, get out of the way, Hill. Farmer, back round the outside by Farmer. Fantastic driving. He keeps that position in the end. Lewis has to back out of it because Farmer just plonked his car right where Lewis needed to be, and Lewis even in the twin turbocharged V6 Nissan that is superior at Red Bull Ring wasn't able to make the move happen. Lewis, no doubt, will be far more concerned about Flynn. Farmer actually gets out of the way. What? Yeah, Farmer gets out of the way. Maybe the team have just got in touch with him and gone, just let these guys battle. Doesn't really matter. The next contestant for Farmer is Musa. So maybe he's thinking, oh, my next guy's a South African, I can have a bit of a fight with him. So maybe he's back down a little bit. But he has like quite a few cars go. As you see, Skurt and Tamo battling it out. Skurt round the outside again. Is Skurt going to get this one done? He is. And Tarmo is dropping like a stone in this race. What has happened to Tarmo's pace? If anyone can tell me, I would appreciate that. As yeah, Skirt back up then. He's 4th in Platinum, so this is a really good recovery drive. Who got a DT? Farmer got a DT, yes, I've just spotted that. Good spot in chat. Track limits then for Jason Farmer. He'll have to go in pit lane and serve that. Fengler's going cutting some grass. He'll have 3 laps to serve that. Looks like he's doing it now. That might be why he slowed down then, because if you sometimes if you go off track and slow down, the game doesn't see it basically. But it's unlucky for Farmer though. To be fair, had a great drive so far. This will drop him probably behind Serodio potentially. We'll see where he comes out. Let's have an update on the top. Sorry you're not getting much airtime, Christoph. We've got 6 and a bit minutes left of this race. You're winning by a canter. You've pulled out a 4 and a bit second gap to Shooten. Lindbergh's is a second further back. Hassan is 12 seconds further back. Then you've got Hicks, Lucasen, Castro. Castro does have Spitzer for company. Spitzer, of course, is your leader of Platinum so far. Then you've got Lewis, who will be sweating here because Lewis is P2, but the car we're looking at right now is Van Holland, and Van Holland is 3rd in gold. Simon Kossup 2nd in Platinum, 11th overall, being closely chased by Flo Scub, who is 3rd. Where did Farmer come out? Yeah, he's come out 24th. Absolutely gutting for Farmer because he's had a great race so far, but them's the breaks. And we did say right at the start that someone was going to get a drive through, but this close to the end of the race, you got to feel for him. Let's keep an eye on the action though. We've got some stuff that matters kicking off. Lindbergh's has really reeled in shooting. Half a second in it. We will definitely keep an eye on that. The battle that I'm quite interested in watching though is Scub versus Kossup versus Van Holland. Scub goes wide. That's going to affect his run up towards turn 3. And yeah, nothing doing. Talma Malmi then trying to get back on terms with some of the positions he's lost. Next one on the radar for him is Courier. Yeah, if you will look at, there's always luck in racing. Sometimes you get the good luck, sometimes you get the bad luck, and I think every single one of us watching this, every single one of us driving this, can hand on heart say we have been the recipient of both good and bad luck. So we know how it feels when it happens to these drivers. Yeah, it's gutting really when you have bad luck, but equally when you have everything goes in your favour, it feels great. So we've got to see both sides of that particular coin. And I think as a driver you've got to be resilient to both of it, and that's why we always say to keep going. Flo Scub having a pop at the Mercedes of Kossup. You can certainly see where the Honda is better than the Mercedes, and gets a really good run out the final corner. Turn 1 not renowned for its overtaking abilities. Flo Scub doesn't look like he actually wants to make this move happen here, but he's going to try anyway. Gets a bit of a bounce on again, doesn't get a great one out, and that's going to affect him all the way up to turn 3, and he's actually now got Skirt Reynolds for company. If we look a bit further back, Talmo Malmi's pretty much side by side with Courier. We'll go and have a look at that as Courier actually lets him go. We did get a glimpse of that in the background. So Malmi now up to 14th. Checking in on Lindbergh's, who is right on the back of Shooting again. What was Shooting's like? 28.4, 28, yeah, both drivers doing 28.4s, but that might be because Lindbergh's is now in the draft, basically. This is still the fight, really, to watch. It's Scub, Reynolds, and Kossup. This is essentially the battle for the final podium positions. Spitzer is way up the road. 10 and a bit seconds to the good to this little battle that's going off. So the battle you're watching with your very eyes right now is the battle for the second and third step of the podium retrospectively, and Reynolds is just off that step and will be very, very, very eager to get back on it. And we'll sort of be hoping in the final couple of laps that the two cars ahead start to trip over themselves a little bit. Who knows? What else have we got going on? The hosepipe is has got Fengler next on his list. Andre looking to do an Andre on Nico. And Nilsson on a bit of a recovery drive. Now looking at the back end of Belez, but another swap position that's happened with Lukeson. Looks like he'd let Castro go there, and the flash of the indicators from Castro will back that up. I don't think Lucason's really that bothered at this stage. He's got a 10 and a bit second gap, maybe even more to Lewis. So he's just seeing this through to the end now. Lewis, pretty. No, I'm not gonna jinx him, but he's second at the moment in gold. I'm not gonna jinx him. And this battle then for second and third in platinum still raging on. Simon Cossut with probably one more lap after this. Yeah. Cossut really on the defensive now as Flo Scub gets a run, not able to take advantage of it. If we just jump on board with Reynolds, see the view he's got now. Bit of a flash of the lights from the American. Get out my way. Oh my god, yes, oh no. Oh my, commentator's curse. Commentator's curse. Every single time. Every single time. And yeah, I think he just, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. But anyway, that's what that is. So let's have a little bit of a recap then. We're near the end of this race now. We've got Peterson leading the race now. He's on the final lap. Shooting 6 seconds back, but Shooting has been fiercely chased by Lindberghs then for P2. That Flo Scubskirt Reynolds incident has basically thrown everything up in the air. Malmy is now back in third in that little battle with Cossut in second. I really feel for Skirt. I really do. And I know, you know, yeah, I just feel for the guy because he puts a lot of graft in. He's genuinely a really nice bloke as well. And I want to see my friends do well. So I'm gutted for the guy. Keep an eye on Lindberghs. I think we'll just stick with this then to the end. There are a few other little things kicking off, but nothing that really matters. It looks to me with just a couple of corners to go that Shooten may well hold on to this. But all your plaudits, all your confetti, all your praise. I was just wait till he gets a drive through just on the final corner. Christoph Peterson, after 40 laps of the Red Bull Ring, comes out victorious yet again. It's a season, maybe a 5th season in the row for him. Shooting well earned P2 with Lindberghs in third for your overall positions, and it's going to be Hassan with one of the drives of the day for me. He's up 8 positions from where he qualified. He comes home in 4th. Then it's Hicks in P5. Castro, another great drive from Castro. 7 places up from where he qualified. He's had an absolute rout today in the Mercedes. P6 overall. Yeah, driver of the day contender 100%. He's driven an absolute fantastic race. And then the winner of your Platinum division, Martin Spitzer. P7 overall, but P1 in class. Lukeson P1 in class. P8 overall. Lewis Knight, another driver of the day contender for me. He's had a great time out there. P2 in gold. Flynn Van Holland got to be another contender. 10 places up. P10 overall. And Simon Cossut, another great drive from him as well. 13 places up from where he started. Talmo Malmy 11th. Nick Correa. Fengler Musa, the hosepipe. From the back of the grid, don't forget P14, Dave Young, Calgaro, Nilsson, Belez, Scub, Serodio still going out there. And then it's Lawrence, Farmer, 22nd after that drive through. Rizolski, Maroney rounds out your lot. So let's get some drivers in. Top 3 to the studio, please. Each, 1 minute, each split. And we'll get some drivers in for a chat. So any questions you want to ask any of the drivers, please feel free to do so. What I'll do in the meantime is just quit out of here, and we'll just get the highlights going off in the background then. So we've at least got something to watch. I think. Yeah, let's do this. Give me a second. Play that. Yeah, I know. What can I do actually? Just give me just a second, I can see. Some of the drivers are waiting for a chat, so I'll bring you in just a moment. I'm just turning the audio right down on my game so we can play the highlights reel without engine noise in the background of our chat. See, this is the difference between me and a professional. You know, Stephen has all this worked out already. So anyway, while that's playing along, we'll get our first guest in, Chris Peterson. How do I bring you up? I don't know.
I can do it myself.
Oh, you can do it. There you go. I'm new to all this. Chris, well done. Another win in the bag for you. I know you had your little penalty to worry about, but was your thought process at the start of the race to outdrive that penalty, or was not taking tyres an option as well?
Oh no, the tire wear was insane.
Yeah,
okay. It's always crazy at this track. Like 30 minutes gets your tires to 202 in the rear, at least in my car, and I think in other cars it's similar. So I kind of wanted to go 50-50 on the sins to minimize that a bit and not gamble too much on tires. Okay. But I did something because of the penalty and because I expected a bit to have BMWs and Fords behind me. I lowered my wing. I did the Ike Sky tactic.
And went full on drift mode through each other. I mean, that's why your tyres have like only got 1 millimetre left at the end of it, mate. It's nothing to do with that. But yeah, so I mean, shooting obviously kept you honest, and we'll have a chat with David in a moment. Kept you honest pretty much throughout that, and especially during the second stint. So how difficult was it in the Honda then against all these straight line beasts?
Definitely difficult. Like I really wanted to get more than 5 seconds of difference before the pit stops, because I knew if he would be in slipstream I would be in trouble. And then I saw like he's 1.2 or something after the pit stops, and I already saw him coming. He was on warmer tires and was already preparing for the fight. I gambled a bit every time and stayed on the racing line for the most part, because I thought, okay, 0.3, maybe he doesn't dive, maybe he doesn't want to take the risk. And one time then I needed to go to defensive in T3. We had a little touch, I think, on my rear. I
saw that,
nothing serious.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I don't know, maybe he will tell you, but I would guess he has had track cuts, and that's why he fell back. Because I doubt it's because the tires wore too much or something.
Well, we'll get him in just a moment to have a word in the booth. But Chris, that with 2 races to go, that puts you in a bit of a commanding position in the championship. Obviously, Lindbergh's finished 3rd, so he had a good result, to be fair. 15-second success penalty to take to Imola. What are your thoughts heading into the penultimate race of the season?
It's great actually, because I don't like Imola much, so I don't expect to be super dominant there. So it's fine to have a big penalty there and look what's coming, and maybe go without a penalty into the last race. We'll see. And yeah, but apart from that, I'm exactly where I want to be.
Good. Well, yeah. I mean, it might mean it'll all go into that final round then, which we always like to see. But well done, Chris. Another fantastic drive. You didn't get a ton of stream time, as you might predict. There was a lot of good battling going on behind you, but you walk away with another trophy to add to the cabinet and more points in the bag. So well done, mate, and we'll see you at Imola next week.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers, mate.
See you.
Bye. So now we'll bring up, if I can work out how to do it. Yeah, there we go. David, Mr. Shooton, and he's going to tell me now he comes up that I'm pronouncing his name all wrong. You're muted, by the way, David. Mate, well done. P2 overall. More points in the bag. How was that race for you?
Yeah, it was really tough. The first stint, I wasn't really driving that well. I think I was pushing a bit too hard because I wanted to stay in the 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Within Chris's 5 seconds. Like really bad because I really wanted this win. So I was just pushing a bit too hard, like overdriving probably a lot in the beginning, and then at some point also my tires were dead in the first stint, and I just had to settle down a little bit, and then I just thought, okay, I'm gonna go for the undercut, but of course Chris immediately went into the pits the next lap to counter that, and then my pace was actually really good, but as Chris thought also, I got 3 warnings.
Right. Yeah, we thought that might be the case.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think I used up quite a bit of my tires behind Chris. I was sliding like quite a lot, trying to stay as close as I could. So then I just had to settle down, and then also in the end, it was really hard to keep the pace there, and Limburgs was catching up as well. So yeah, it was really tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a good result for yourself in the championship. You were 6 overall going into this round. No doubt that result's going to do you no world of good against Nilsson and Skitty and Darius as well. So I think that result, P2 Red Bull Ring, going into the last 2 rounds of the season. Do you think you've got anything in the bank to take to maybe Imola or Barcelona that may get you up to like the top 2 or 3 places in the championship?
Yeah, well, Imola is also one of my better tracks, I think. But I've driven it the last time in the BMW, which was last season, and I remember that I was in the practice or in the Thursday race or something like this. I was basically matching Chris's pace. So if I can do it this time again, and yeah, I don't know. I also have, of course, the 10-second penalty, but who knows? I like Imola a lot, so maybe I can do something there.
Yeah, well, Chris has got 15 to worry about, so you're not on your own there. Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming to speak to us, David, and we'll see you on track at Imola next week. And
Sure.
Yeah, good luck to you for the rest of the season, mate. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, see you next week.
Cheers, mate. There we go. I can move there. Right click works wonders. So the next driver we're going to get up to speak, we might as well just stick with Diamond while we're there. I know we've got a few of the other drivers in the room waiting, and we'll get Mr. Limburgs up to speak to us. He's found a new little bit of a hobby of making what I can only describe as erection inducing videos of cars going around a track, but also turns out he can drive quite well as well, and he's secured P3 here at Red Bull Ring. Limburg's, I've just started driving the Lamborghini myself, as you know, and one of its main weaknesses is straight line speed. Red Bull Ring's a straight line track. Talk me through that one from your perspective.
Well, it's all about braking and getting the initial drive out of the corners. If you try to, you're not gonna catch anyone, so your best bet is to be alongside out of the corners, and then maybe you can do like a switchback or outbrake the other person. But yeah, on straight line, you're not catching anyone, you're not overtaking anyone. It's all in the corners.
Yeah. So a good result overall going into Imola. I sort of said in the pitcast that you might have used up your bad race token at the Nürburgring already. Is the pressure on for the final 2 rounds? What are you thinking in terms of securing your place in the championship, or are you thinking of a charge against Christoph in the last 2 rounds?
It's probably gonna be a fight for P2. I don't really feel any pressure. I'm just, coming here, driving, having fun, seeing how it goes.
Good
Not really
vibes.
stressing about championships at the moment.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And no, good driving, mate. And I know you're exploring other avenues as a YouTuber now. So I look forward to your next video dropping, mate. I was genuinely really good to watch. So good drive tonight, mate. Thank you for coming to speak to us, and we'll see you at Imola next week.
Thank you. See
Cheers,
you.
mate. See you later. Bye. I think it's only fair. The next driver we get up in the booth is someone who spent a lot of the race battling away. It's Simon Kossut. Simon, welcome to the commentators booth. Hope it's comfortable up here. And you had a bit of a sweaty one in that race. You were kept busy.
Yep. Hello. Thanks. Yeah, it was really tough race for me. Yeah, as I didn't have any practice laps. So yeah, a lot of fights going on, a lot of stressful situations for me. But after all, it ended in a really good position. So yeah, it went well.
And a lot of time spent around your teammate Castro as well in the other Mercedes. Were you two on comms together, just trying to say, right, this is getting a bit close for comfort now. I'm gonna let you go. We're in a different split, like.
Yeah, we were only comps, but we was trying to keep it as close as possible. We were fighting basically and telling each other that we are not gonna let each other go and fight for the positions. That happened as well with Flo. That's we were fighting for the second position in our third in the class to the last lap basically.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, it was really close. Like
yeah.
your battle. You, Flo, and a few others got most of the coverage, especially in the closing few minutes, because that had quite big implications for the championship as well. You came into this in 6th place, 34 points. Skirt dropped points today. I think Fengler did as well. Malmi's in the room. He'll tell us about his escapades, and Spitzer obviously won the round, but that result will probably leapfrog you a few positions in the championship after Suzuka last week where he didn't race. So yeah, we've got some ways to go. What's your thoughts then going into the final 2 rounds? How are you feeling about things?
Well, I'm most stressful about the team championship as I have no chance to take a podium in platinum class, but we are fighting currently for P2 in team championships. So yeah, I'm trying to keep it as fast as I can to get some points for the team and bring it to the podium, to the ball.
I wouldn't say no chance. I think that the opportunity is there, but you've got to hope that Flo and Malmi start dropping points quick. And the way those guys are driving this season, you have to say it might be quite unlikely. But good luck to you for the remaining couple of rounds, Simon. I know it won't be the last we see of you, and hope you have a good end to your season.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Bye. So we'll actually get Talmo up now, and then we'll get Lewis and Sebastian up. Sorry I'm keeping you guys waiting. I appreciate your patience, but Talmo, thanks for coming up to speak to us, mate. A busy race for you. I think you were pretty much around cars most of it. What happened towards the end? Because I noticed that you sort of let some guys go, didn't you, near the end of the race? What happened there?
Yeah, thanks for the invite. And first I'm going to say that congrats to everyone who passed up to the end and got the results they wanted. But yeah, from the end, this was a hard race, some great battles, and I gained 3 warnings after 20 minutes. So I was in kind of a damage control for 40 minutes. And I got stuck behind a couple of drivers due to my mistake at like 25 minutes in, and so I pitted and got some fresh rubber there and got some nice clean space on the track. But yeah, when you drive on RedBull Ring and the highway surprises you, and it was like I think 10 minutes left. I was so dead on tires that it was hard to keep up. And I think Scott and Reynolds both got past me, and I think Korea as well. But I got lucky at I think it was second to last lap when Scott and Reynolds had some one-on-one action in turn 1, and then I was like, I think top 3 after that.
Yeah. No. It's a bit of a story. I think quite a few drivers did get those track cuts early on, and then went into tyre saving mode near the end. So yeah, if you survive this one without a drive through, I think you can take that as a success. Going into the final 2 rounds, are you optimistic about Imola and Barcelona? Do you and Flo are very tight in the championship. How do you see the next few rounds playing out, and what are your hopes?
Imola, I have no expectations really. We'll see where I end up, because I haven't raced on that track too many times. So happy with all the points I'm getting there, but it's going to be a tough one with the speed of Reynolds, Scarp, and Spitzer, for example, in Platinum. And Barcelona, I think I haven't really raced on that track too many times, and mostly doing some license laps, to be honest. So it's going to be an experience as well. So we'll see. The rest of the season is going to be a tough one.
Well, you've got a week to prepare yourself for Imola. Sometimes it's just about being there, and like you said tonight, you got a little bit of luck. And I think I had a bit of a chatting commentary about how we all have good and bad luck, and sometimes you just got to ride it and just stay in the fight. And if you can do that for the last 2 rounds, you'll be there or thereabouts, especially with the pace that you're showing.
Yeah, I think hopefully getting the result we wanted. So, but yeah, I'm going to go get some sleep now.
Don't blame me,
you
mate.
guys might know that I moved yesterday and was doing arrangements today, and
God.
It's been a tough weekend, and I'm exhausted. So
go and get your head down, mate. I know you've earned it. You can go and have a quick sip of champagne and go and get your head down, and we'll see you in.
And congrats for everyone who got till the end and gets the points what they wanted. So good night, everyone.
Good on you, mate. Good night. Bye. And next up is we've got 2 of our drivers from Gold. So we'll first bring up Sebastian. Sebastian, who can only be argued had a driver of the day contender for me with that performance in qualifying and the overall result as well that you managed to get. Not much to say really, because I think in most of the race you were sort of on your own. You weren't really battling away too much, but you had solid pace through that race. So just talk us through it from your perspective.
Yeah, well, thank you. First of all, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was on my own for the most of the race. I just wanted to get a clean start and not have any accidents throughout the first few laps.
Definitely. Yeah, because
some problems with some freezing problems, so my game would just freeze for a second. So I was also trying to just not be near any car, so not taking anybody out.
Yeah, well, you made that, so that's a win for you in Gold. I think that's going to really close the gap then between you and Korea for the Gold Championship win. And obviously the other lad that you're fighting away for positions in the championship is currently sat in the audience, Lewis. Going into the last 2 rounds, I'm sort of eager to know what your thought process is in terms of the championship and what your hopes and dreams are for the next sort of 2 rounds that we've got.
Well, I just got a notification, so I have actually been promoted to Platinum. So
there you go.
Yeah. So, I think it's Imola next.
It is, yeah.
One of my favorite tracks, so I hope I can get my freezing issues sorted by then. But I'm looking forward to that, and I'm just trying to get. I would like some podiums in Platinum to end off the season with and finish strong, and then
Cool.
see what's gonna happen in the endurance. racing when that takes off.
Oh yeah, of course, we got that to look forward to as well. Yeah, well, look, with your pace, I mean, I've driven against you on track quite a lot as well, and you're definitely up there with the Platinums pace-wise. So there's absolutely no reason why you can't start taking it to Spitzer, Scub, and Malmy and all that lot, and really start ruffling the feathers. So good luck for the last couple of races. Looking forward to seeing more of you driving, and well done today, mate. Another trophy for the cabinet.
Thank you very much, mate.
Take care, Paul. Bye bye.
Bye.
So the last contestant, the last, by no means least, is Lewis. Come up to the stage, Lewis. Thank you for that. Sorry to keep you waiting. I appreciate your patience. I know you.
That's all right, mate.
I know you've been sat there listening to everyone else and probably had your own opinion. So I know you're never short of a word or two. So I'm just going to let you go. Talk me through your Red Bull Ring experience.
Terrifying.
Yeah?
Terrifying is the answer. I had a Nissan with a damaged engine. I had front brakes reaching 1,000 degrees. It was not a happy bunny.
That explains a lot, because I mean, towards the end I was watching your little battle with Farmer and Van Holland. You kept getting a corner wrong, and it was letting them back in, and then obviously you were trying to send it on Farmer. Yeah.
Turn 4.
What was your thought process then? Because like you're battling Flynn, you're not battling Farmer. So what are you thinking at that point, and how did that translate into your race?
Well, Farmer, I will say this, and I've already told him, Farmer drove brilliantly.
He
That
really
was
did, yeah.
one of my most fun races I've ever had, because at he gave me every bit of opportunity to do moves, but was absolutely on the edge with me the whole time. You know, was willing to give the space, so I was loving every second of that race. I was happy. I knew that if I could get ahead of him, I could run away. Because the Nissan had the top speed here.
Yeah,
All I needed was to get onto the straights ahead of them, and that I would have been okay. And every time I got close to him, we got to a corner, which, versus a downforce car like a 296, doesn't work in my favour. And then Flynn got by me, and then I sent it on Flynn into turn 4 and jettisoned the piston to the moon. Because I came down, I shifted to third, and as I shifted to third, she shifted into second, and I think hit like 9,000 revs.
Oh, so you did a Thomas.
And I just heard an engine. I just watched my engine like just go dink and turn on from clear to white, and I was like, oh, I have to be careful now. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if it was going to be that corner or the corner before.
Sometimes it's in. How did you get on with the drive-throughs? A lot of drivers were sort of carrying free warnings for a lot of the race. How
I
did
only
you
had
get
one.
on? You won.
I only had one.
It's not too bad then. So you weren't pushing hard enough basically, because if you were, you would have had 3.
Well, I was doing 120. I think my best here was a 120.4.
128.
28.4 was probably the best I pushed. I think the best I'd done in practice on my own was a 128 flat.
That's respectable. That's respectable. Well, that's leader's pace basically if you were doing that. So
yeah, it wasn't horribly off where I wanted to be, but it was just so it was so annoying because I'd have the straight line speed, and then Porsches and Ferraris are just better in the corners, and then it's like, well, I can't outdo them here. I've got to go for switchbacks, or I've got to try and outdrag.
And how's the Nissan? How's the Nissan at Imola then? Because that's coming up next, and obviously your team's got a week to replace that engine that you've blown up. But yeah, next week. I mean, there's one massive straight at Imola, but other than that, there's a lot of twisties and a lot of curbs. How's the Datsun get on down there?
She's fat. I think that's the big thing. Is as long as I can keep people behind me, I think I can just about abuse the turbo spool out of corners. So it's just a matter of me making sure that I get the lines where I need them. So down into the chicane after, like, is it Aqua Minerale?
Yeah.
There's a chicane there. Obviously the pit lane straight. Another place I want to run down on and get ahead of people. So it's all going to be on, can I get the pit stop nailed? And yeah, there's not very many slow corners, so that's a bit better for me. Much better for the Datsun.
Cool. Well, good luck for the rest of the season. Looking at standings and stuff, you were P3 coming into this one.
I'm still P3.
You'll still be P3, I think, because the gap to Corey is quite big, even though he didn't have a great he didn't have a great night tonight.
I did go and look at it. It's 11 points between me and Korea
Right.
with drop rounds. So if you take into consideration the drop rounds between me, oh hang on, is it altered? Oh no, I just hadn't. Oh, it's because RBR hadn't updated this thing. If you take into consideration, yeah, because I think Lucasen just got moved to platinum, didn't he?
He
so
has,
Lucasen's
yeah.
no
He's
longer
gone
in
now.
contention for. Hang on, the website is.
I've just tried refreshing mine. It's not having any of it, but we'll have a look at that. I think we've got.
I think I'm second or third, one of
yeah,
the two.
just updated you second on 66 points. Corey is on 73.
So I need a very good Imola and a very good Barcelona. I'd love to win this before I get. I also have news, Chris, because I saw this as well.
Go on.
My license has been upgraded, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the Datsun is now hovering at platinum. So
Oh, very
the
interesting.
Datsun will
So you'll be
most
going
likely
up.
have a proper showing next season. New livery. But
Nice.
I'm hoping I can win this. If I can win this and go into platinum with a winning gold, I'll be happy with that. And I'll have to do something smug like Peterson and put something on the back of it for Nissan.
well, don't count your chickens just yet. There's 2 races to go.
Two races.
You know, Correa and Van Holland are what you would call worthy opposition. So no doubt they will keep you very honest in the final 2 rounds. And
Yeah,
I know Corey's very quick at Imola, by the way. I remember racing him there last season. He was right up my backside the entire race. So you need to get on track and get your setup tweaked, because he will be fierce down there, I should imagine.
Well,
But
that'll be my my week. I got a long week ahead, but that will be in my week.
But
Yeah, we'll go for that. Hopefully it works.
well done for tonight, mate. My bladder's been crying at me for the last 20 minutes, so I need to go and look after that. And yeah, well done. Two races to
Thanks,
go,
mate.
and we'll see you on track at Imola.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye now.
Take care.
So you've heard from the drivers. You've seen the action. You can join the action, of course, by if you're watching this on YouTube, which will be uploaded after the fact. There will be a link in the description that you can come and follow us on Discord and join in the fun and all that wonderful stuff. There's not only the Sunday series, we do races throughout the week. The Sunday's the big one, but there's also the Endurance Championship, which will be starting up soon, which you are more than welcome to come and partake in. If you're watching this on Twitch, not much you can do, I'm afraid. Twitch is like that, but you can head on over to YouTube. You can find us over there. You can have a look on Reddit for us, all sorts. Or if you're familiar with Discord, you can search Evolution Racing Academy, and we should come up as well. But thank you for watching this week. I'm sorry it's been a bit last minute. I didn't find out I was doing this until about an hour before, so I just threw something together so you'd at least have some coverage. But thank you for watching and sticking all the way through anyway, and hopefully you'll have the professional back next week. And I might be just in a co-commentator role with him. But thank you for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye now.